Hello, so today I'm going to show you how to use my research project software. Essentially, it's called GEOT1D. All you have to do to access it is go to this website here. At the moment, it's just an IP address 130.220.208.183. All you have to do is go to this address, put in a code, and that will give you access to all the different files, as well as this particular Python or Jupyter notebook. So first of all, I'll just show you how to use this. Jupyter notebook basically integrates text with code and allows you to basically run code in your browser. For convenience, you probably want to hide all the code. So I've implemented this button here, so you can sort of hide all the code. So it's a bit more neat and a bit shorter. Alright, so then what you need to do, you need to go to kernel and restart and run all. So you can run all cells. Basically, we'll go through a first example here. What this software would do essentially, it would load data from the Orin database, either through the portal, which you have to manually sort of go and download and upload, and then you'll sort of load it through the zip file function, or it will sort of go onto the API and obtain the datasets directly. So just for the first example, I'm just going to obtain a dataset from the Orin API. So I'm just going to select one here. So what that will do is it will just say what would you like to search for, what kind of dataset. So all of this is just the list of subjects that's sort of listed by Orin API for your convenience. There's a lot there. Just want to note that the API, obtaining data from the API is work based off Zanichi, and she was the one who initiated this project in the first place. I've simply sort of just improved it and made sort of medically relevant analysis from it. So we'll search for something sort of relevant to type 1 diabetes. It's called just family income. So when you enter the subject name family income, will come up with a few data sets here that are relevant. So So, basically, you'll have to select the data set that you want. In this case, I'll probably just go with the first one since it's local government area aggregated, and it'll be easier for analysis. It will just be total income. When you select a data set, it will sort of tell you what kind of geographical classification it has. Now, there are some instances that it won't automatically detect the classification. In that instance, you will have to manually enter what the classification is. But in this situation, it's identified that the dataset's aggregated in local government area, and all you have to do is just confirm that. So the index of that is 0 within this list here. I'll just put in that. Now, this dataset has a lot of different properties or attributes or features, whatever you want to call them. We're basically only required to select one for analysis. In this situation, we'll probably choose family income of $4,000 or more. The total families with $4,000 or more family income. Assuming that's per week or per month. Probably per week, I think. So is 85. 85. So after that's selected, what we'll do is, what the software will do, it will basically load all the different values of that particular feature from the dataset of the Orin API, and now it's going to ask us what the diabetes data do you want to. Seems like I've got another instance running on the computer, but we want to analyze the ADAN database because that's the biggest database that we have of type 1 diabetes. So we'll just enter 1 here. You get to choose from whether you want all the patients diagnosed in the postcode, or sorry, I forgot to mention, ADAN is aggregated in postcode, which means it's aggregated in different geographical classification to the data set that we just selected, which means we'll have to sort of interchange. I'll get to that later. But this this ADAN data set has two different sort of values. One is the number of patients diagnosed in a postcode, and the other one is just the current number of patients living in the postcode. In this situation, we'll probably go with, I think current postcode is a better explanation of that. So after that, with the two data sets loaded, we'll just convert between them because they're aggregated in different ways through correspondence files, and these are obtained of the Australian Bureau of Statistics. All it does is it will say this, for example, if a postcode 3057 has, it overlaps with an LGA of about 20%, so it will just inform that to us, and we'll use that information to sort of divide up the patient data or the value from the data set accordingly. For more information on how to do this, just go into the report, which outlines this pretty neatly. So what happened here was it will basically convert the data, and now it's asking us for a minimum number of patients. So what happens is a lot of regions in Australia might not have any diabetes patients. It's not because they actually don't, but more so that it's not registered on the ADAN database. So for that reason, there's a lot of sort of regions of zero values, and when you plot on the graph, it sort of looks really bad, just a lot of zero values. In that case, we want to eliminate these values because they sort of have no meaning really, whether they really have zero patients or they just don't have it registered on that, and it's not really doesn't allow us to see the trends anyway. So we're just going to eliminate that. I'll put the minimum number of patients per zone as 0.5. That's the standard I go with. Then it will ask you to if there's a property and it has a lot of zero values as well. In this case, income shouldn't have a lot of zero values, so we're just going to leave it at 0. So minimum income per region is 0. So all regions should be included. So what happened here was it basically calculated in linear regression. You see the R-squared value there. The Pearson's correlation coefficient shows it's a negative correlation, and then the maximum information analysis as well. This is just a bit of statistics. It will plot the data, and you'll see here on this plot here is of different sort of zones there plotted. That's the income, the number of families with income of 4,000 or more, with the number of patients. So you can hover over different zones and have a look. If you're particularly interested about one zone, what you can do is you can hover over it. This one's code is 10750, and then you can go into this next function here. So is there a particular area you're interested in? I am interested in an area. What's the code? So 10750. what they will do is basically map that region on a map for you to see where the region is there some other factor, or what do you know about the region that may influence type 1 diabetes. So the location has been found, and it's I don't know what this is, but I'm just going to zoom out here. It's the western suburbs of Sydney in Blacktown. Just going to zoom out. There you see. So that region is sort of notorious for high crime rates. In terms of that doing anything to the analysis, probably not, but it's just interesting to see if you have the time. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is show you how to obtain data sets from the Oren portal and sort of load it into the software. All you have to do is go to the website portal.oren.org.au. You'll then have to log in with your educational login. So there's no one for me. Let's log in here. So you're able to add our data sets onto your account here, and you can search for keywords if you want. Then what you'll have to do is download them as a CSV. That will then download it as a zip file, in which you can sort of load it back onto the software. You'll have to upload the zip files into any folder you want, really, but I upload them into Oren datasets here. Just upload the zip file here, and it will automatically extract the file in the software. So I'm just going to run all again. This time we're just going to, not go for the API, we're going to go for the portal this time. So you'll just have to make sure that you've downloaded a data set from the portal. There's instructions here again if you forget how to do it. So getting data manually from the portal is for a zip file, which means it has to be extracted. The software can extract zip files for you if you want. In this case, I've extracted all the zip files and all the data sets that I want to analyze, so I don't need to extract again. So I'll ask for the name of the data set I want to analyze that's been extracted. I think we're going to go for, just a good example to show is number 1, the non-English speaking countries of birth. So that's aggregated in SA2, so I'm just going to put 1 there. So what happened was that the software couldn't actually find an aggregation or geographical level for that data set. It's because the name of the SA2 code in the data set is called area code. So that can mean anything from LGA code to SLA code. So that's why I couldn't find it. In this case, you just have to manually input the geographical property, which is area code. And then you have to enter the geographical classification, which is SA2. We saw from the name of the data set there. Then you can choose you can choose your attribute. In this case, we're looking for the percentage of, say, the people born in China. So attribute 5 here. It'll ask you if you want to select another attribute. That's only relevant if you want to combine a different attributes into a single one. If you want to look at the count, the percentage, percentage is not really relevant, but if you want to look at the count of people born in Malaysia and India, for example, then you can do that. But in this case, we're just looking at Chinese-born people, so that's not very relevant. It will then ask you to confirm the geographical aggregation if we just entered, so we'll just confirm that. Then it will load the data and ask us for another data set to be loaded, which is what diabetes data set that we want to load. We'll go for add again, and you can choose the file to the diabetes data in general, or India. India has a very small number of patients, so it might not be very relevant. So we select the diagnosed postcode. Actually, we're going to go for current postcode because that's probably more relevant in this situation. We'll then convert between the two data sets using the correspondence files, and then you'll get the shapes, shape files for visualization after. So the minimum number of patients, we still want 0.5 here. We explained this earlier, and 0. So it will then perform the geographical analysis. It's back here. R squared is pretty low again. Pearson's and the maximum information coefficient. If you want to have another look at different sort of regions, such as this one, this is 30306. So we'll just put this in here. 303061. Okay, so just have a look at the area. So this particular area is in Brisbane. Apparently a high proportion of Chinese population there. Again, that's just something interesting. Looking at it on the map might not mean anything to you, but after all, you're able to see whether there's other factors involved in the incidence rates other than the fact that you just selected. That's about it for the project and the software. If you have any more queries, do refer to the report. Other than that, thank you for listening and using my software.